Welcome back to our masterclass, Negotiate Winning Partnerships in China Without Speaking Chinese. Today is lesson 2 of the Foundations for Negotiations. We're going to talk about the Chinese negotiations process. So when you go to China and you begin meeting prospective people that you're going to partner with, the first thing you have to really consider is what is the purpose of negotiations? Now, from the very Western or American perspective, negotiations is basically to reach an agreement or to sign a contract. And a lot of times we negotiate because we believe the contract provides us legal protection if people don't live up to their obligations, but it also provides a framework for the way forward for the partnership. Now, for Chinese people, uh, we negotiate or Chinese negotiate to develop Guanxi relationships. And that is basically the mutual trust based on a system of goodwill and reciprocity. And for Chinese, the negotiations doesn't stop after the contract is signed. So the question becomes, how do you align when you start from fundamentally opposing objectives? It really requires a mindset adjustment. Okay. When you go to China, most Americans or most foreigners, they care more about the specifics during the negotiation process. They're very transparent. They want to put all the chips and all the cards on the table, and they want to make sure that both sides understand what the agreement it is. So my experience has been that when you go into your negotiations process with that mindset, you're actually capping your maximum ROI. Because what happens after the contract is signed is you spend more of your time and energy enforcing the terms of the agreement as opposed to collaborating for a win-win. And we're going to talk about more of that throughout this entire masterclass. So for the Chinese people, they negotiate in a completely different way from our understanding. It doesn't mean we don't talk about the things that we need to talk about. It just means the mindset is different. Now, when you first meet a prospective partner, during that period, up until the contract is signed, all of the behaviors are pretty much aligned. You're getting to know each other, you're exchanging information, you're developing a relationship. Uh, and that's pretty standard. Now, what happens is for most Americans or most Westerners, the negotiations ends after the contract is signed. But for Chinese people, the negotiations actually begin after the contract is signed. Now, it doesn't begin in a literal sense, but it begins in kind of a behavioral sense and a figurative sense because for Chinese people, the negotiation process of exchanging goodwill and working with each other and collaborating, it actually never ends and it actually gets stronger through the life of the relationship. So what happens is a lot of Westerners stop negotiating after the contract is signed and they start monitoring. And once they start doing that, this is when the relationship becomes bad. It becomes dysfunctional. This is even when Chinese partners start to do things that you would consider unethical or corrupt. Okay. And what we're going to learn throughout all of these modules is that you need to continuously be in the mindset of negotiations, which is giving face, developing Guanxi, and that is really how you achieve a win-win. And this is really the framework or the Chinese negotiation process. And the key takeaway from this lesson is bad behavior occurs when you stop negotiating. And that is 100% controllable by you.